Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Throwing Scott Selections here for Monday, December 27th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. A couple of plays to go through, so I'll go through them pretty quickly. On Christmas, we had the Steelers' first half team total under 9 at minus 110 on FanDuel. They did not score in the first half as we won that easily. Then on top of that, you played that video yesterday. We had Justin Jackson over 55.5 rushing yards at minus 110 on Fox Bet. He finished with 64. And then the NFL joint show play, we had the Bears team total under 17.5 at minus 125 on DraftKings. Unfortunately for us, after we ended up giving out the play, Nick Foles was announced to be the surprise starter, and Foles did Foles things, and they eventually converted a 3rd and 14 on in Seattle's red zone in the last 2 minutes, and that resulted in a touchdown. So we had a really good shot at the sweep, didn't get it, and we ended up still going 2-1 for plus +0.8 units. Very solid day. I'll look for another winning day here on Monday. And for the play today, looking at football once again, we're going to be looking at the Monday Night Football game between the Dolphins and the Saints. And the question in everybody's mind from this game is, can you please start flexing Monday Night Football games? Because this game is something that I'm sure nobody wants to watch, but of course it's still on TV, so people will watch it. And the total in this one is 37 because both teams offensively not that great, defensively pretty good, but a total of 37 for a game that's indoors tells you what you should expect from this game. I'm not going to take the full game total, though. However, I'm going to take the first half. We're going to be going with the first half total under 19.5 at minus 120 on BetMGM. Time recording of 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the first half under in the spot. First of all, both these teams have been really good towards first half unders this season. New Orleans is averaging just 8.6 first half points per game, which ranks 26th in the league, while Miami is averaging just 9.4 first half points per game, which ranks 24th in the league. So both teams offensively not good in the first 30 minutes. Now defensively, both teams are really good in the first 30 minutes of games. New Orleans is allowing just 9.7 first half points per game, which ranks tied for 4th in the league, while Miami's allowing just a 9.9 first half points per game, which ranks 7th in the league. Translation, both teams get off to really slow starts offensively, but get off to really fast starts defensively. And I do think that's going to be the story once again in this game. Now, of course, the Saints offense has been a mess for the last couple of weeks. Truth is, ever since Jameis Winston got injured. But they tried the Simeon experiment, didn't work. They tried the Taysom Hill experiment, which really wasn't working, but they managed to win a couple of games. However, both Simeon and Hill are out because of COVID, which means it is time for 4th-string quarterback Ian Book to make his first career NFL start. And I don't exactly expect it to go well. Ian Book, I'm sure a lot of you remember from Notre Dame, was wildly, I'd say, mediocre in college. He had a couple of good years. His final year was pretty solid, but he doesn't really have many great intangibles. A little bit mobile, not exactly a great arm, and I do think that the Saints will really lean on their defense in this game because of how good it's played lately. I think that Sean Payton will really just try to get Book some easy completions early on. Don't do anything stupid. An extremely conservative game plan. A lot of Kamara, a lot of dump-off passes, which means a lot of time-consuming but probably ineffective drives because I'm sure Miami is going to dare Ian Book to make some throws that I'm not sure he's capable of making. But we saw, just for comparison, how Jake Fromm, for example, did in his first career start against Philly yesterday, and that didn't go too well. I believe he finished 5 for 17. So I feel like even though Book had some success in college, there's a reason why he was a 4th-string quarterback when the season started. It's because he's probably not good enough to actually be on the field, be on a roster. So we'll see how he does there, but I do think they might open it up a little bit in the second half. But I do think Sean Payton will keep it very, very conservative and keep it on the ground for the majority of the first half. Meanwhile, Tua has been pretty good for the last month and change, which is why Miami has been on a pretty long winning streak. However, they're not exactly a big play offense. Tua is very good at slowly and methodically, moving the chains, 5-6 yards of completion, and try to extend some drives. But that does eat up a lot of clock, and the Saints defense has been very good for the last couple of games. The Saints have allowed 9 points in their last 2 games combined. They managed to shut out the Buccaneers last week, and I do think that the Saints defense will fare pretty well early on against Tua. Now, I will acknowledge that the Saints do have some COVID issues on both sides of the ball, so I do think that the Saints defense might not be as good as it was in previous weeks, but I do think that Miami will probably finish with around 10, and I do think that the Saints offensively should really have a hard time even reaching the end zone in the first half. Miami's defense is extremely underrated after it got off to that slow start. The secondary with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard are both very, very solid corners, and I do think that book will have a really hard time of moving the chains. They might kick a field goal here and there, but I do think reaching the end zone might be a little bit much. I think that the Dolphins might reach 10 in the first half, maybe even 13 or 14. But the question is, do I think the Saints are guaranteed to score 6 or more points in this half? Not really. So I think 19.5 does seem a little bit high. I expect to see a 10-3 half, maybe something like that. But I do think 19.5 is a bit high when one of these teams might not score in the first 30 minutes. So the play of the day, once again, here for Monday, December 27th, is going to be on the Dolphins and Saints first half under 19.5 at -120 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.